Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. So the reason that you clicked on this video is probably to learn about fertilizing your plants, and I just wanted to make a quick video explaining what fertilizer does and what to look for in a fertilizer. I don't think that you have to fertilize your plants, but I have noticed that when I do fertilize my plants, they do a lot better. But I am a believer in whatever works for you and your plants, keep on doing it. I like to hear what other people have to say, and I like to see how they take care of their plants, but it doesn't always mean necessarily that I have to do it for my plants. Like I said, whatever works for you and your plants is what you should do. But I wanted to make this quick video and kind of go over fertilizing plants, because when I first got into plants, I really didn't fertilize my plants because I didn't understand fertilizing. But now I am getting a little bit better at understanding how it works, what to look for on the bottle. So I'm just going to teach you guys what I know and what I have learned throughout taking care of my plants. So we're going to first talk about the numbers on the bottle of the fertilizer or the bag or whatever you buy. So whenever you hear somebody saying, oh, my fertilizer is a 10-10-10, or it is a 1-4-6, or if you ever hear someone talking about that, I never understood it, and I was like, okay, well, whatever that means. So when I finally kind of looked into it and started understanding it more, then I could buy the best fertilizer for the type of plant that I was going to be fertilizing. So I'm going to show you the numbers on the bottle here and just kind of explain what the numbers are. So on this bottle, as you can see, it says 264, and this specific fertilizer is for flowers or fruiting plants. And I did get this as a free sample from the Neptune's Harvest company. They sent me out this free sample. So the first number on the bottle is nitrogen, and nitrogen aids in leaf growth and making your plants colorful. So like making the leaves green, or it just promotes the color of your plant. So the first number on this bottle is 2. So it is a little bit lower on the scale, but this is a fertilizer for flowering plants. Nitrogen also can hurt your plant. So if you don't have enough nitrogen, you might see that your leaves are a little bit yellow or pale. Also, if you have too much nitrogen, it will stunt the growth of the flowers or the fruit that will come from your plant, because the nitrogen pushes everything out of the way and just works on the color and the leaf production. And so if it's too high, it will stunt the growth of the flowers and the fruit. So the next number on this bottle is a 6. And like I said, this fertilizer is for flowering and fruiting plants. So the 6, or the second number on the bottle of fertilizer, is phosphorus. And phosphorus is good for fruiting and flowering plants. So it does help in stimulating your plants to flower, and then also fruit. If you have fruiting plants, or you have like a fruit tree, avocado tree, whatever you're using your fertilizer on. So the second number, if you have, this one's for roses. So you have roses, you have, you can even use it on Hoya. You can use it on any plant that does produce flowers. You do want the second number, or the phosphorus, higher on the bottle. And then the last number on the bottle, so this number is a 4, and it is for potassium. So potassium helps with just overall health of the plant. It helps ward off diseases or things that might attack your plants because it's not so healthy. So it is a little bit higher on this bottle, which is a good thing because it does promote just overall root growth, stem growth, just overall plant health. And also I forgot to mention on the phosphorus that it is also good for root growth. So it is also good to have that second number a little bit higher as well. So it just really depends on what you're using the fertilizer for. So I do have different examples of different fertilizers that I have and that I have used. So this is for orchids, and as you can see, the first number is a 20. So the 20 is for leaf growth and promoting healthy color or green color or whatever, just the overall color of the plant. The second number is for root growth, flowering plants, and fruiting plants. And then the last number, or the potassium, is for overall good health of the plant, helps ward off any diseases, any pests that would attack your plant because it is unhealthy for whatever reason. So as you can see, 20, 14, 13 for this orchid fertilizer. So another fertilizer that I have, this is the first fertilizer that I ever started using. I really didn't know too much about fertilizer. It said indoor plant food. It was from Miracle Grow, a very well-known brand. It was in Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever I purchased it. And so I picked it up. But as you can see on the back of the bottle, it is a 1-1-1 fertilizer. So this fertilizer would be called a balanced fertilizer because all the numbers are the same, so it's balanced. And as you can tell, it is a very mild or gentle fertilizer. It is something that is good for a beginner, just so you don't burn the roots of your plant or hurt it, harm it in any way, because you're just getting into it and you're not really sure what you're doing as far as fertilizer goes. So this is a good one for beginners. So another fertilizer that I purchased is another Miracle Grow, and the numbers on the back of this one are 24, 8, 16. So 24, like we said, promotes the leaf growth and overall healthy color of the plant. So this one would be really good for that. This one is in granules. So this one is water soluble. You do mix this one in with water. So this is another good one to use. This is a synthetic fertilizer, so that means that it was made in a lab. So sometimes the synthetic fertilizers are a little bit more harsh on your plants than an organic fertilizer, but this is a good one to use. I haven't had any problems with it, and it was $2 at Walmart on clearance. But I really don't use this one anymore because I do have a favorite one that I use and I swear by it. So I will show you guys that one in a minute here. So the next one I'm going to show you are these fertilizer spikes. And this one is a 13-4-5. This one, you take the little fertilizer spike and you stick this down in your plant close to the roots, and then this one will fertilize your plant over time. So this one is really good for I would say maybe like 2 to 3 months. So if you don't want to fertilize your plants every day or every 2 weeks, monthly, whatever, this is one that will fertilize your plant. And this one says that it is good for 60 days. So every 2 months you would have to insert a new spike in your plants. But let's get into my favorite fertilizer. So my favorite fertilizer is an organic fertilizer. It is called Neptune's Harvest, and it is a fish emulsion based fertilizer. It says it's derived from fish protein and phosphoric acid. So it says it's used as a stabilizer, but this stuff is awesome. And it is a 2-4-1. The only downside to this fertilizer is that it stinks really bad. So if you don't want your house to smell like fish, I wouldn't recommend this one. It does really good on my plants, but my kids always walk around plugging their nose when I fertilize my plants, just because it does smell. And it does only smell for, you know, a couple of hours. But if you're somebody that just doesn't want that in your home, I would not recommend this fertilizer. Also, if you're going to use this fertilizer or any kind of organic seaweed fish emulsion based fertilizer, I highly recommend. Not only do I highly recommend, I will tell you right now, if you mix this and don't use it, like you forget, it will stink so bad if you leave it overnight. So don't ever mix this stuff and leave it sitting in your watering can, because you will think that something died in your sink or wherever. It stinks really bad, but it works very well. And this is one that I highly, highly, highly recommend. So this one I do, so the directions on this one, so it says shake well before using, and it says prepare for one application only. Do not store this diluted fertilizer. And it says for house plants, you will use 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. And I do fertilize my plants weekly with this fertilizer. Like I said, it is organic, so it is very easy on your plants, or very gentle on your plants. And it says water lightly so that the diluted fertilizer does not remain in the saucer or the drip dish under your plant. If you notice that, make sure that you dump that out and just rinse it out, because it will smell. So this is also good for outdoor plants. I've never used it on outdoor plants just because I don't have any, but this is really good stuff. So I'm going to show you my Hoya that I have been using this on probably since like mid-February, maybe the end of February, and now we're in April. So just a little backstory on Hoya. I just couldn't get the hang of them. I would always see people buying Hoya and they would just be such beautiful, interesting plants, but they would just die. They would shrivel up, or they would turn brown, or something would always happen with them, and I just could not keep them alive. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this fertilizer on them and see if it helps at all. And if it doesn't, I'm just going to say forget it on the Hoya, and just give up on Hoya altogether. But I started using it first on this little Hoya, I think it's called. So I got this one on Etsy, and it was a very small little cutting, and believe it or not, it was a little bit bigger than this when I got it. It started having, you know, the leaves started shriveling up and dying, kind of like this one here. It just started, you know, the tips would get crispy, and it just, you know, wouldn't look so good. So I started using the fertilizer on my Hoya, and now, if you can see down in here, it is growing some new little leaves. So I'm super excited that this one is finally getting some new growth, because I really thought that it wasn't going to do anything, and I thought I was just going to have to throw it away once the last leaf shriveled up, but it has new growth, and I really think that it has a lot to do with the fertilizer, so I was excited for that. Okay, so that's the first one. The next one that I have been using the fertilizer on is this Hoya. So these Hoya I bought either really cheap or I got them free at the plant stand, a nursery that I go to. When I first started going there a while ago, they would always give a free plant for Customer Appreciation Day. And so I'd always grab a Hoya, and this is one of them that I got for free. And when I first got it, it was just, you know, not too big, just a few leaves here and there. And when I started watering it with the fertilizer, it started growing a whole bunch of new leaves, and it has a whole bunch of new ones here, and also over here on this side it has some new ones, and even some new ones up here that have just grown in. So I was happy about that, because I really want to start getting some new, more interesting, more maybe rare Hoya, and I really didn't want to do that until I could prove to myself that I can take care of them. So far so good. Another one, so this one is another one that I got free at the plant stand, so it's just this basic green Hoya carnosa, and it really didn't put out any new growth for me, and I've had this plant for at least a year. It didn't die, but it really didn't grow. And when I started fertilizing the plant with my Neptune Organic, it started growing, and like all these ones here are new, and then it does have some new ones that are coming in right here, if you can see that. So I'm pretty happy with this one as well, and I'm going to continue to fertilize it, and hopefully it will grow a lot bigger for me. And then another one that I use the fertilizer on is this Hoya here, and this one is one of my favorites. It does have a lot of new growth here in the front, and it has some here. These ones are also new. This whole little group here, that is new, and I think this was already here when I got the plant, but it is definitely getting some new growth, so I'm happy about that. And then one more Hoya that I've been using the fertilizer on, Hoya Carry, that I got in California when we went to the Pasadena Rose Bowl or flea market. I didn't get this at the flea market. I got it at another little plant nursery that was near our hotel in Pasadena. But she sold it to me, I think it was for like $14. And when I got it, it had these 3 leaves and this one here. And it did grow this one. And then it did grow another one right here next to it, but my kids broke it off. And then it has grown this one, and now it's getting another one over here, and then 2 more little ones look like they're gonna come up here. So that is another plant that I have been watering or fertilizing with the Neptune Organic. So I was happy about that one. I also fertilize a lot of my other plants with the fertilizer, and they seem to be doing really well. I just want to show you real quick a domino cactus that I have. Fertilized this one also, and it just got done blooming probably a couple of days ago, and it is already producing another bloom here. So this one takes very well to the fertilizer. So as far as fertilizing your plants, the best thing to do is read the directions on the bottle and follow the directions. I have had some people say that they water their plant first and then they will fertilize, and if that is something that works for you and that's something you're comfortable with, I would highly recommend that you do that. And like I said, I do water my plants weekly and fertilize them weekly, but you do whatever works best for you. And I would highly recommend that you read the directions on your fertilizer and follow that, or even do half the strength if you're worried about burning the roots or harming your plant in any way. But I just hope that this video was helpful to you guys, and I just wanted to share with you guys how I fertilize my plants. Quick recap on fertilizer. The first number on the bottle is nitrogen, which aids in leaf production and the color of your plant. On the bottle is phosphorus, and it helps with healthy roots and fruit and flowering plants. And then the third number on the bottle is potassium, and potassium helps with overall health of your plant, helps ward off any diseases that your plant potentially might get, just because it helps keep the plant healthy, to keep any pests or diseases off your plant. So I just hope that this video helped you guys, and I just want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you want to see more educational or teaching or how-to videos, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. And until next time, guys, bye.